All right, there was a club called Osco's on La Cienega. He'd have an underage night. Now I'm standing there. You got Holly Robinson Pete. I see this little Asian dude with no shirt on and long hair and the old school country jacket and just with this attitude. And in my head, I'm like, nigga, I'm sick, so crippled. Who the fuck is this? But I know who that is. She's on TV, yeah. And I'm literally not the big tough guy anymore because she looking at me like, nah, nigga. Get rid of them braids you got, you know what I mean? So I had to learn to adapt. I got kicked out of Crenshaw High with me and Lil Looney and sent to Westchester High School. Westchester High at that time was still 90% all white. And all of a sudden, you're at this school with rich black and white kids. How I ended up meeting Donna Bohanna, another story. But you're at these clubs at 16 years of age and you're selling, you know how much the first pager was? Tried $999.99. I got my first pager from PageNet, which was on Slauson, right before the Fox Hill Mall, company called PageNet. It was $1 a page. And my first big drug deal, I was up at Osco's. No, I was up at Pinafini's, a little further down by the Beverly Center. I'm 16, 17, if that. I don't even think I was 17. And I run into Dana Plato. And I remember, this is crazy, this is Miami Vice times. This is like 85.
Coke is now really starting to hit big.
And I had a Datsun 280Z. I'm selling dope for Kev, who I told you about. And they're like, yo, go to Pinafini's. And Dana Plato sees me. And she's like, oh, hey, do you want to dance or something? I was like, nah, I don't want to dance. She's like, well, you're probably going to get some attention. I'm Dana Plato. I knew who she was. But as a hood nigga, I'm like, I don't give a shit who you are. And, God rest the dead, we ended up, and she was so far gone at that point.
Already.
I remember
This would have been the winding up days of Different Strokes, or?
This was, Different Strokes was
ending.
Pretty much. She was off the show because I think she had her baby by then. And so again, this would have been 85, and I remember us going to the parking lot and she was gonna follow me over to a hotel. And I'm telling this story just in the vast of how bad drugs were back then. And I remember looking to the left and she goes, oh, my Mercedes in the shop, this is a loaner. And it was a fucking Pinto. The word Mercedes and Pinto and loaner don't go together. But I didn't give a shit. I knew that I'm gonna give this girl some dope and I'm gonna make some history. And I made history for about 3 weeks. You're talking about an element of being from Rolling 60 Crips, and I can go to 321, and little Susie, who's the heir to the Folgers, is working for me now. Where you could sit here and say, this is the daughter of this very well-known doctor that works at Cedars-Sinai, and she's, again, one of my best mules. You're talking about the difference from a dude selling dope on the east side. He's looking at possibly getting his whole snot box busted and dead that night. Once you knew how to leave the west side and go to Hollywood, go to Beverly Hills, the Palace was owned by Beverly and Denny. And remember Beverly Hills Cop when they're in the thing and he wants to get laid and Nick Nolte goes, all right, man, go on across the street. That was the Palace that was the known. If you can get in the Palace, well, luckily I could because my boy Skinny ran the security. Bobby Sox was married to one of the main dancers there. And what did dancers want? Pure cocaine. And again, I'm not even, remember Gerardo?
Yeah.
Gerardo was a dancer there too. Never done a drug in his life. That was my dude. I was not even.
Oh, when you say dancer, you mean like on a platform?
They
on a
they
stretch.
performed there. No. They did shows there like New York, and I was again 7. I don't even think I was 16, 17, and I'm in this club with no less than 2 ounces of pure cocaine. And if you wanted it rocked up, I used to have this what are they called? Beakers? I had a beaker. Yeah. Well, I had a flat beaker. It looked like a saucer.
Like a peach juice.
Yes, petri dish. We call them beakers. And I would take that in the bathroom with a lighter, get some hot water as best I can get it, and I could easily cook you up a couple grams of cocaine right then and there if you wanted it hard.
Because if it was pure, you don't need the baking soda.
No. I'd always keep a bag of lecithin with me. And when you play this interview and someone hears the word lecithin, they know they listen to a real dope dealer. Because we didn't cut it with baking soda, we cut it with lecithin. And lecithin is what would make the mouth go numb and you feel like you really got some good dope. And I could step on an ounce 4 times with lecithin and you still think you got pure dope. This is before I'm even 18 years of age. I'm already selling dope to Billy Preston, the Fifth Beatle. I'm already selling dope to Charlie Wilson from the Gap Band. I'm already selling dope to Freeman Williams, the highest player from the Boston Celtics. I'm already sitting in the Huntington Motel selling dope to Norm Nixon and Marcus Johnson. And I'm not. My best friend was from A-Tray. Went to junior high school together, went to high school until I got kicked out of high school. And I knew that I ended up going to do some juvie time. And I got out and I had a Datsun B210. And he said, come by the house, I'm gonna hook you up. He lived on 87th and Western. And Al, I bullshit you not, I turned left. And you're from Detroit. Do you remember when you didn't have to go to the dope dealer? The dealer swamped your car.
Oh yeah, you pull up on a black man running to the car.
And this was it's like 84, 85, you know. I could do a lot in a year. And I remember coming home and Anthony said, come by the house. And I turned left. And at that point is when nobody gave a fuck if you was from Rolling 60s. You want to buy some dope? You want to sell some dope? And he gave me an ounce of cocaine, $300 back then. $300. My first night of selling all hard was that night. And I had a homeboy by the name of Byron that was from Seattle. It was a black dude, but he was like a black-white dude. So he just knew how to put every And my first night, I remember watching dudes ride by me. I'm like, yo, I know, that's my enemy. And I was selling dope in the jungle. And I'm like, yo, that's...
You mean in the jungle?
Black Soul.
Black Soul, oh.
Yeah. And I'm like...
So you're a Rolling Six, no Rolling Six...
Selling the blood neighborhood.
Did no one care?
Second night we got rolled up on, I got shot.
Okay.
Buckshots, these little dots that I have here, I got shot. Some older dudes that they ended up getting dealt with. But Byron lived in the jungle. And he was like, they smoking like crazy over here. Come over here. My first night I made $1,900. I bought a motorcycle. I was dating at that time the daughter of the cooks for the Spellings.
Aaron
Yeah.
stuff.
I was dating that we have a child together, and her family were the cooks. And they lived on the fucking estate of, so I'd see Tori, the son, you know, and when the killing started is when it became this one for one, not one for all. You know, if you was from 60s and you done bought your first Mercedes, you know, for me I just wanted my first apartment. I had my first apartment on 6th and Rampart.
Oh, it's not far from us.
Yeah, the movie Car Wash was shot right there, down the street from Tommy's. That apartment right there on 6th and Rampart, I lived there. So at that time, that's all I cared about. A car, motorcycle, some money put away, and an apartment. When the shit went left with the gangs, when it was, nigga, you fucking with my money now. So let's say I got a dope spot on, I didn't, because I always went other places, because I was already around whites. But if you was on 7th Ave and sold on Bryanhurst, you sold on the Dime Block, and that's where you sold, and you became so numb and you were selling your own auntie and uncle and best friends, one of your homies is smoked out now, it stopped being about turf. It started being about the product. You know, this shit is mine. You know what I mean? And you would dap your boy's hand at, 11 o'clock on a Thursday, and he'd be dead by Friday. And then you find out the nigga that told you he was dead is a nigga that killed him.